Will Final Fantasy XIV bring in Lineage 2 refugees? Welcome, friends, to a new episode of Final Fantasy. Today, we're going to be talking about whether or not, if you are a Lineage 2 refugee, whether or not this game is right for you. Right out of the gate, for those of you that don't like to watch longer videos, yes, it will. But what I'm going to try to do is, for all the Lineage 2 players out there that are looking for a new home, I'm going to try to show some of the comparisons between this game and Lineage 2, to hopefully give you guys an idea of how in-depth this game is and give you a sense of whether or not it's the right game for you to come to. So let's take a look. The first thing that we want to take a look at is character creation. All right, from the main screen, it's Endwalker. We're going to have the ability to choose a data center. I particularly play on Aether. All of these are based on location and the different types of places you might want to play. So depending on what region you're on, doesn't really matter. Oceania is new, so there's some new servers there for the people in the Australia's New Zealand area, which is really cool. So they've pretty much got you covered all over the world. So then you're going to start a new character, and the character creation in this game is absolutely amazing. There's so much to do. So if we actually choose a new character, we're not even going to load any appearance data, but we have all these different things. So there's multiple different races and genders. The only one that's gender locked is the Hrothgar, but you can choose any of the other ones. So for the sake of whatever, we're going to do a female row, and you have all these different things that you can do. Once you select OK, you can choose your different factions, your character's clan. None of these things have a bearing on the game, so it doesn't matter which one you choose. Just choose the one that you like, that looks best. You have a lot of different options for how tall you are or how small you are, and look at all of these things that you can choose from. There are so many. You can be super built, smooth. There's obviously a boob indicator, which everybody loves for those, and then you have all these different skin tones, so every person can be completely customized to the best of their liking. So there's lots of options, and really it's rare to see more than the people that look the same in the game. It's quite remarkable. There's so many different things you can do. Lots of different colors for eyes. It's really amazing. It's like no other that I've seen before. I think the other one that rivals it would be Black Desert Online. They have a really good character creation platform, but this is definitely up there for sure. Next up is the storyline and lore, and for those of you that are leaving Lineage 2 and trying to find a game to come to, one of the things that you're going to find with this game is that the storyline and the lore in this game is exponentially so much more in-depth and larger than the world of Aiden in Lineage 2 can ever be. Eorzea is chocked full of lots of quest lines and lore and all types of things for you to be able to digest and bring your immersion, I guess is the best word. You can really immerse yourself in the world of Eorzea. So right now we're in Radz-an-Han, and you can know where your next step is by the MSQ marker, the main scenario quest, and I believe there it is, Estinian. So we'd want to talk to Estinian. That big icon in his head is the thing that gets you through. Now the storylines in this game are huge, and if we take a look at some of these, so here are the 4 storylines that we have, or there's actually 5. So A Realm Reborn is the first 1.0 game, Heaven's Sword 2.0, Stormblood 3.0, and our 2.0, 3.0, 4.0. Actually, I don't think that's right. I can't remember exactly where it is. I'm missing something. Either way, the version numbers don't really matter for this point, but what I'm saying is there's 5 expansions. So there's the Heaven Sword, Stormblood, Shadowbringers, and then just recently they came out with Endwalker. The reason I actually have some of my main scenario quests left is that they just recently came out with 6.1, which is the latest update for Endwalker. So it's new information and new story, which starts right here. I don't think I've gone too far into the main scenario quest in 6.1, but that's okay. There's tons and tons of story, and the one thing that is huge, I can't really give you a lot of information about it other than the storylines are quite massive and huge, and there's a lot of different spoilers in them, and without giving anything away, all I can say is that I've never experienced a story or a storyline or a game with so much lore in it in my life. This is absolutely amazing. So if you're looking for storyline and lore, this is definitely the game for you, and there's no shortage of content. The only thing I can tell you is that get ready for a lot of reading. That is the one complaint. If you don't like reading, it's going to be really difficult, but there is something to talk about after. If you don't like reading, you can still go through the story. All right, one thing I will say, and this is kind of a disclaimer, if you do not like reading, this game to start with is going to give you a lot of trouble. Because there's a lot of story building and world building, character building that it goes through all of these stories that I was just showing you about. And it requires a lot of dedication to reading, which will help you a lot with a lot of the details. However, if you don't like to read, you will find the game challenging to get into, and it's going to take you a long time to get in. But if you retire to an inn, you do have the ability to skip all of the reading and everything that you do, and then there's this wonderful thing here called the Unending Journey. And you can go watch every single cutscene from every single main scenario quest and all the side quests you've completed as a total watch. Just sit here and watch, and then go read the cutscenes. It'll read it. A lot of them will read it for you. There's others that won't. You'll have to do some reading. But if you start going through this journey, you can see how many quests there really are. It's a lot. And without getting into it, the storyline and lore is just absolutely amazing. It's so good. I do urge you to watch it. And for those of you that have not had one and have been lacking, it's really good. And I guess since we're here, the other piece that's really kind of cool is you have your own inn and glamour room. Whenever you complete things, you have the orchestration pages that you can collect different things and play the orchestration roles that you run into. There's all kinds of them. And some of them are really cool. I haven't gone through and listened to many, but that's what's going to play for now until I click something else. You have a bed, which will tell you to go to sleep. You have a glamour dresser and armoire. Now, these are really cool where you can put different various costumes and glamour items. And when you do that, I'm not going to go into great detail. That'll be a different video. But main thing is, if you click on a gear set list, sorry, not a gear set list, you can click on your glamour plates, and let's say we want to look like a mage. We can just apply that, and now we look like a mage. Look at that. It requires some items, but the items are trivial to get. It's these glamour prisms and things like that. So, very cool. So you can change your costumes at a moment's notice. This is the true end game in any one of these. We can just switch right away, and it doesn't even matter. And now we're back to normal. Really quick stuff. It's super cool. And you can set, as you can see, many of them. And I believe with the new update, they're going to increase the number of items you can keep in your glamour dresser or armoire, which is really, really cool. One of the next things I want to talk about for those of you that would be leaving another game and coming here would be the combat system. The combat system here in Final Fantasy XIV is very similar to what it is in Lineage 2. It's tab targeting, and it's really, really nice. Here's another cool thing that I haven't touched on yet is mounts. You can fly and travel all over the place. But as you can see, it's very cool. We can get on and off our mounts, and it's just no different than kind of playing Lineage 2. You can put your stuff on your hotbar. The difference is in Lineage 2 you have macros, And there are macros in this game for various things, however, not related to combat. There might be, I could be unclear on that. However, a lot of things are very positional in this game. So when they want to attack, they're going to attack you direct on, but then you'll see different markers. And where this shines the most is most certainly inside of dungeons or trials and things like that. And you have to be very mobile in this game. That's one thing that is a huge difference, but it's a lot more active and exciting combat for sure. And it's really, really nice. The really cool thing about this is as you progress, depending on if you're level 30 or level 90, your rotation, meaning which skills you use in what order and when you use them, depending on what you've unlocked, will change. And as you level up and play with different characters, you will be able to try different things and have different skill set that you would run through, which is called your rotation. Along with your rotation, you have all these different types of skills. And if you press the C button, you're going to open up your character page. And here's one of my favorite things about the game. Lineage 2 makes you play multiple characters. This, you do not. You can play one character and you can level all your different jobs that you would like to. So for right here, as you can see, I am a black mage. That's what I'm set up as right now. Now, if we wanted to change to a different, we would just, now I'm a miner because I changed my weapon. Now I'm an alchemist. And what's really neat is you can set these gear set lists. So if we want to change, well, now I'm a botanist. Now I'm a culinarian. Now I'm a reaper. So there's all these different kind of things that you can do, and you could do it all on one character. And you have these wonderful tabs here that give you all these different things based on what you were leveling. So there's no need to have a separate character unless you want to. So it's completely up to you, and it's not an absolute 100% necessity like it is in other games. So that is a huge, huge factor for me, which is really quite amazing. I like it a lot. Makes it to change easier when you're playing with parties or with people. You give the ability to change out and hang out with friends. So you're like, if you need a tank, oh, I can switch to tank. I'll be a tank, and then just switch right away, and then you just enter the dungeon or whatever. It's really nice. Speaking of which, dungeons and raids and instances, the things that you're used to doing in L2, which are really repetitive. The beauty behind this game is really the dungeon and raiding system. So there's dungeons, there's trials, and there's raids. There's other things here, which we'll get into. But as you can see, if you look at the dungeons, and it gives you the level number, if I want to play this dungeon, I can play it synced or unsynced. If I want to do it unsynced, I'd just check the unsynced button, and I could go play this dungeon as at level 90 and just rip right through it if I wanted to. And let me tell you, there's going to be times where you're going to need to do that. But as you can see, there's a number of, just in the main game alone, A Realm Reborn, there's a number of dungeons already. There's a whole number of trials to work through. And then there's huge numbers of raids to go through, which require multiple people. If we scroll down, this requires 3 parties, 1 to 8 players per party, 5 DPS, 2 healers, and a tank. So you end up having 15 DPS, 3 healers, and 2 tanks, or 3 tanks. 6 healers and 3 tanks, sorry. So this is actually a 24-man raid, which is amazing. So there's a lot of these things that are really, really fun. I'm not going to show them off because a lot of them would be spoiling things for a lot of the players that this might be new to. But just see that there's just so much to do, and you can indicate what you've done based on a check mark in the box or not. So this stuff, the savages, I haven't done this. And there's a leveling to it as well. So there's a Sastasha, and if we scroll down, there's going to be a Sastasha hard. There's a Sastasha hard, and then if we go to Heaven Sword, there might be a Sastasha extreme, and then also a savage, and then even further than that, which is high-end duties, which are ultimate raids. I only have 2 unlocked. I don't even meet the requirements for doing these. I've tried, well, what I'm doing right now, but they're huge, and they require a lot of effort. But if you like dungeons and raiding and trials and things like that, this game has a ridiculous amount to cover, and it's quite amazing. The world. Okay, so let's take a look for a minute. If we go up, here is the entire world map. It's huge. It's massive. It's so large. You can click on any one of these places, click on that, and it'll take you right there. You don't really have to worry so much about teleporting fees. It's kind of a non-issue. At the beginning of the game, it's a little bit tough, but they have you walking everywhere for the most part. But there's quests after level 20 and 30 where you can get your mount, and you can get a chocobo, and you can get different mounts, and then you can fly around. The beauty is once you start to get to the point where you can fly, you can really get some quite amazing views of everything. And this is just one area. This is called Mordona. But yeah, look at that. So there are limitations. You can't fly all the way up in the sky, but there's some places you can fly higher or lower than others. And there's even underwater stuff, which is kind of amazing. There we go. So come on. There we go. And you can get some really kind of cool screenshots and views from the world. But if we just take a look at the map from a list standpoint, look at all the places we can go. There's so many places, and you can click on all these to change depending on where you are and things like that. You can mark favorites if you like, and it's really nice. So if we wanted to go to Eastern Leneska, we can just click on that, and we're going to teleport there for a small fee. It takes 300 or whatever it is away, and then now we're in Leneska, and we're in Wineport, and it's a completely different area and look and feel. Look at this, is like a big wine area, obviously. That's why it's called Wineport. They make wine here. Very cool. So the world is just absolutely massive, and with each expansion you have another like 6 areas and 6 world maps to take a look at, and it's rather vast and expansive. There's no shortage of places to explore and take a look at while you're here in Eorzea. All right, the next thing is crafting and gathering, and oh my goodness. Here's another cool thing. Weather. There's weather in this game, like real on weather. Sometimes it's foggy, sometimes it's raining, sometimes it's snowing. And with crafting and gathering, sometimes, specifically with gathering, sometimes it has to be raining. You have to go fishing at nighttime when it's raining to catch certain fish. It's crazy. So let's get rid of this guy, and we're gonna open this guy up, and gathering. We can go gather. I can gather anything I want. So if we take a look at our gathering log, look at all this stuff. Look at all these levels. You have all these different things that I can go try to, let's say, okay, we're level 30. I want some raw Goshenite. All right, we're gonna click on that. Looks like it's in Bloodshore. All right, let's click on Costa de la Sol. Del Sol, not De La Sol. And then we're gonna go take ourselves on our wonderful chocobo. Chocobos fly too. We're gonna fly over to that area, and we're gonna look on the mini map here. You can see on the mini map there's some items that we can try to get. All right, so there we go. There's a mineral deposit. So we're gonna get right next to that. We're gonna right click on it. There's a node. Okay, there's our raw garnet, our raw aquamarine, and raw Goshenite. So we can click on that. We can click any of these that we want. You can also click on enable auto, and it'll do all of them. Nice thing is there's going to be different percentages on your gathering. So depending on where you go, it'll be extremely difficult to try to get something. So if we go to, we want to go try to get, see, some of these we haven't even unlocked. If I click on this, it just shows me the area, but it doesn't give me it because I haven't found it yet. So let's go take a look at this. This is close. We'll go to Fort Job, and then I don't want to give too much away because I don't want to give away areas that you guys might see later. So, but I do want to show you that there is some depth to this, depending on what you're trying to gather. So if we go up here, I'm not giving too much away. Plus, it's not as nice to look at right now because it is raining. And as everything that's raining, it's drab and dreary. So here we go. Look at, there's other people in the game also gathering stuff, which is quite amazing. So if we take a look here, look at, we have a 59% chance of getting that. We have, we got it, but we're not going to get it every single time. And as you can see, sometimes you'll fail, and then sometimes you'll get more than one, which is really cool. And then you have different skills that will give you the ability to select or gain more things. So if we want to try to get this, we're going to disable this, and we're going to click on Sharp Vision, which is going to improve our ability. So that raised it up to 100. So let me click on that guy. And this one raised up to 90. The question mark indicates that I never got it before. So now we've got it, which is really cool. But still, even at 93%, you can still fail. It's kind of cool. And the same thing with any of the other gathering jobs. So miner, botanist, and fishing. You can go do all those things too. It's very cool. Along with crafting and gathering is obviously the crafting. So if we click on crafting, it gives us all the different crafting jobs. So depending on what we need to do, doesn't really matter what we can do. Let's say we needed to do something that was iron. We want to make an iron spear. Here's all the things we need to make. So if we right click on it, we can search for recipes using this material, and then we can go find other recipes. We can also show me the crafting method, which will take me to the crafting method. And now, okay, I need 3 iron ore to make an ingot, so on and so forth. So, and then what you would do is you would click on synthesize. We're not a blacksmith right now. Oh no. So we can just come here, set our gear set. Let's change to blacksmith, which I have a different set, and click on synthesize. We actually don't have any iron ore, so I can't synthesize it. The number that you have will obviously be indicated here, and a window comes up, and then you can click on some of the crafting things, and you can use all your skills to gain it. It's really cool. I'll go into more depth in crafting and gathering because I'm spending a lot of time doing that, which is a lot of fun, and I really, really enjoy it. And finally, something that Lineage 2 does not have is a housing system. So I am actually here at our free company house, which has all different types of amenities, which is quite amazing. We have some striking dummies. Remember before we were talking about our rotations? So if we need to work on our rotations, we can use striking dummies and work on our rotation to try to figure things out. Which is really nice. You don't have to worry about being hit by mobs. There's a chocobo stable. You can train your chocobos and things like that. We've got a fire. Everything just looks really nice. There's a balcony. Let's go inside. There's housing in this game, and look at this. So this is all completely designed by the field company owner and leader. So all these things, you can, the fish that you catch and gather, you can put in fish tanks like this. Look at that. Look at that bad boy. Somebody caught that guy. And they just hang out there and look awesome. And then there's all these different types of things too. So there's a company chest, there's material suppliers, there's a mender. What other things do we have in here? This was all designed and placed and put into your own area. So we can go in the basement. There's a bar. We have a party area. There's a stage. You can play all different types of music that you've got in the game. There's bards that come by that can actually play music, which is amazing. And then I believe up here we have a game room. There's all these different types of things. So you can have your own housing. What's really cool is you can have your own. You could have your own field company or a free company house, or inside of your free company, you could have your own private chambers. So come here. We'll take a look at this. Housing is quite amazing. So I don't really have anything in here except a shower. Some of you that know me in this game know why I only have a shower. I'll get into decorating my room eventually. But if we click on social and housing and we go to look at all these different things you can do. So you can change the lighting. So we want the light to be really light, dark. We want it to be super dark. I have it in the middle right now. There's remodeling. We can furnish furnishing colors. We can do all the different types of things that we have. We've got shower stands. I've got a few things in here, not many though. Storeroom. Here's all my stuff. I've got partitions. I've got some desks and chairs, and it's just a matter of clicking on, let's say we wanted to hang a lantern. Let's take that lantern. There we go. We just placed it. And you can move it. We can move it wherever we want and then do stuff like that. So we're actually going to just store that item, put it back. I haven't spent a lot of time here. What's really neat is if we exit, move to a specified chamber. So we can go look at all of our other free company, you know, company mates. So let's take a look at, that's mine. Let's take, is anybody on? Let's take a look at glow sticks. Oh, I've not been granted access. So apparently there's privacy, so you can have privacy, which is cool. All right, let's look at that one. So people do some crazy designs. Look at this. Beautiful. There's so many different ways to do things. So I thought I was on some crazy weird angle, but pretty nice. Hot tub, all kinds of fun stuff. Thanks for letting me see that. Oh, we want to leave and leave private chambers. There we go. So that's pretty much my assessment of the game. Hopefully a high level overview. It's not super in depth. I'm trying to show off as much of the game as possible for anybody that would be trying to leave whatever game they're at, be it Lineage 2 or another game that they're frustrated with, and they're, look at that mount. Wow. See, this is how cool the mounts are. There's so many different ones. Look at this. So that's a cool one. And then I got this kind of buddy. This guy's funny. Look at, he's like a sheepy guy. He's so fun. But look at that. You can get so many different ones. I don't have that many, but there's definitely a fair number that you can get, which is quite amazing. So hopefully this was a good guide for you guys to see what the game has to offer. Please leave your comments down below. What do you like about the game you're playing? What don't you like about the game you're playing? What things did I show today that would maybe give you an idea of, wow, I really need to play this game because I like this. Those crafting and gathering systems really, oh, I can't get enough of them, so I'm actually really loving this part of the game. That's what I'm thinking. But what do you think? Let me know down in the comments. I love to hear from you. As always, take care and be safe.